What a great selection of films we've just seen. Right now we're getting to the question and answer session where we get under the skin of the films and we talk to the directors to find out exactly what the creation process was, what was their inspiration and stuff like that. So the first question is always, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about the film and how it came about.
I'm Okazaki, the director of the update. The story is about, the story genre is about, the crime fiction, and the father is trying to find out the daughter who are lost.
I'm a filmmaker, an artist, and a sound producer. I usually make all those things together. I make installations, narrative and experimental films as well. Whatever is moving, moving images. Just recently released a fat book as well with 15 projects from latest years. So that's like in a nutshell what my film is about. My film is 6,480 Days. It's about kind of a post-pandemic effects. The film was actually made during the pandemic, and it was influenced by the pandemic and by the whole atmosphere and the whole unending and insecure, unsure, unstable, times of what is going to be. A lot of questions were in the air, and there's a kind of a dystopian feel about it, which the film kind of captures and tries to sort of maneuver through. And while doing so, raising all kind of questions about future, past, present, dreams influencing reality. It's a lot about hopes as well.
A tech question. How long did it take to shoot the film? And more importantly, the tedious but beautiful process of editing. How long did that take?
The skeleton was hacked out pretty quickly. I'd say in about, I don't know, 15 to 20 hours. I, just edited the whole thing. But then, I came back and started kind of really going into these small details and really fine-tuning things and going into post-production and post-production of audio. And, and then you start going into all the small nuances, and that's, much longer. But that's where the fun begins, because you actually have the structure. So that's the fun part.
And as always, when you make a film, there's always these happy circumstances and stuff like that. Is there something interesting, some particular story, good or bad or different, that you can relate to us?
We had the little abduction case in the country, the 3 years ago. The little case inspired me, and I, came up with the idea and the concept of this film at that time.
Well, in all of my projects, I kind of look for magical, moments, for things which are out of the ordinary, things that have an impact, which is kind of beyond words, beyond storytelling, which you can do with words and sentences. So I look for some kind of atmosphere which conveys, a certain feeling or certain atmospheres which are hard to explain with words. So it's kind of like, I don't know, almost like frequencies or storytelling by vibes or by, sounds as well. So I tend to look for those, hyper, let's say, I wouldn't say hyper real, but almost unreal moments which spring from reality. These are, these meeting points of dream reality or or something which is like in between, those moments which are hard to grasp or hard to pinpoint. I'm interested in those points, especially in film and cinema.
And of course, were there any lessons that you took away from the film that you'd like to share with other filmmakers or even the audience?
This is my first film and my first time to dialect, write, and shoot and edit. So I learned a lot of things. So I made a lot of the mistakes, I think. So yeah, I learned how to make a good story, how to make good characters, and then how to make good composition. And what should I do? What should I do in lighting to make the visual storytelling? Yeah, so all of them are, what I did not do, and I could not do. So I learned a lot of things from this production and this films.
So you're in competition with a lot of other filmmakers competing for Asia's Best Independent Film 2022. How does it feel to be actually competing at our festival?
All I can do is, to try my best to make the next film pretty much better than this time.
I feel great. I mean, I feel that's like the natural place for me to be with this film, you know. I'm really excited about Asian film festivals because, you know, I'm always intrigued by Asian content, what's going to happen, what's going to be on screen, because, you know, different attitude, different cultures, you know, East, West, you know, different perspectives. That's always interesting, you know, for me. And because you know, some of my films, not all of them, they happen in East Asia as the kind of exploration of you know, of, let's say, the soul, or places as well, or let's say a soul searching through different foreign you know, places. That's a really interesting spot for me to, you know, to show the film. You know, I mean, Manila. I've shown Call for Dreams, my previous film, in the Philippines, in a few cities, but this will be the first one for 6,480 days.